Alright, welcome back to Peanut Garage. On today's episode, we're going to mount the half cab on the patrol chassis. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark before Christmas. Every little bit helps. Alright, hope you enjoy. So, to begin with, we're going to strip out the front cross member. If you guys don't remember, I did a episode trying to fit S15 coilovers, or S13 coilovers, into the VN. Everyone used to say back in the day that it works. It does not perfectly. A bit of modification and it would end up working, but I don't need to do that now. So we'll pull the wheels off, pull the coilovers off, drop the K-frame out, and I'll rescue those engine mounts from the barrow, and yeah. Alright, I didn't take the wheels off, didn't take the coilovers off, dropped it all out in one piece, and it actually worked out to be a hell of a lot quicker than what I was going to do. So, easy peasy. One piece of crap on the ground. Right. So, for here, I'm going to start removing anything that doesn't need to be here. Try and make as much room in this. We'll take the fuel lines out as well. Won't be needing them because they're on the patrol chassis. We'll take as much crap out of this thing as we can. Also got a new radiator sitting there and some hoses. See if we can plumb this up while I'm home as well. Also have a 4-inch lift on the way. So we'll pull all the handbrake out as well. And yeah, pretty much we'll just cut that off because I want to make enough room, and we'll also cut these off. Alright, less talky, more worky. Alright, so have stripped out a heap of stuff out of the engine bay as well as underneath. The only thing that I have left is the condenser, which I still need to pull, and the handbrake. I'm going to have to hop in there and pull out the handbrake mech. No big deal. And the auto shifter is still up in there. I've got to hop in there and drill out the pot rivets. But I'm going to do a cleanup, and then we're going to bring the patrol chassis in, and I'll remove the dash and get that sorted. Alright, so got the chassis inside, took the dash off, worry about the rest of that stuff later. Been doing some measuring, and it looks like I'm going to have to chop the frame rails out of the VN, because that point to that point is 625 mil. That point to that point is 625 mil. Funnily enough. And it's going to be chassis rail on chassis rail. So if I cut both of them out, it should give me the clearance. I'm going to have to cut this out, unfortunately, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to keep that. But anyway, such as life. I'm also going to cut this off the lower rad support, and we'll make something off here eventually. So yeah, actually I might leave it for now. But I'm definitely going to chop it there and completely remove the frame rail all the way through there, so it won't be too bad. Yeah, we might even have to remove that, which isn't the floor pan. I'm worried about it hitting that, but yes. I'm going to drop it down and have a bit of a look-see. I'm also going to have to move the front of the chassis that way. Looking at it, yeah, and we'll see how much we got clearance for the steering box. But that will make it a pretty easy straight shot for the steering, which is pretty cool. Won't have to fuck around too much with that. Yeah. Just wanted to put it under here and get a bit of an idea where everything's going to sit. Also want to see where these gear shifters are and the 4x4 box. It'll come to me eventually. Probably as soon as I put down the camera. Transfer case. That's it. Transfer case. Yeah. So I'm going to have to be busy cutting. But I'll drag the front over this. I'll get a jack and move it over. I'm just going to see if my go jacks are going to fit these big friggin' things. I should have kept the 31s for this, but oh well. We shall see. Alright, so we have cut frame rails out. Still got the boxes to go. That should give us some more room to see what we're doing. Yeah, yeah, I didn't really want to do this, but oh, here's what it is. Cool. I'll cut those boxes off. I might have to go to Bunnings to get some more cutting discs. But yeah. Then we'll wheel this back and take the air cleaner off and try and drag it over a little bit more to get it square. Yeah. Alright, so we have got things on things. So I've pretty much lined this up where I want it. Everything looks square enough. Yeah. There we go. Plenty of clearance all around. And it looks like it's going to be a straight shot. Straight for the steering, which is awesome. Not too much stuffing about there. Biggest part will be getting a clutch pedal master in here. Which a reverse swing under the dash won't be a hard issue. I did grab a master. 370Z one to see if we can make it work, but we'll see. The engine's where I want it, so reverse throw won't be a deal breaker. Okay. This thing looks pretty damn cool. So that's what she looks like. Yeah. And we still got a 4-inch lift to go on this, so she's going to be high. I need a step ladder to get into it. Yeah. Took the auto shifter out and relieved the tunnel for the transfer case, which you can just see the center console is a bit bent up from it, which is no biggie. I'll sort that out. We'll plate it in and get some boots to cover it all. Then we'll just try and find something. We'll work something out. No big deal. Yeah. So it is a little bit lopsided just because the lift kind of sinks that ring in first, but I'll level it up and go from there. It's basically just sitting on the tank now just to get an idea of how everything's going to sit and work. So yeah, we'll make some mounts up. It actually lines up fairly good here, so I was going to plate these in anyway, so we'll plate these in and make a bracket to fit there. So we're actually going to have 8 points holding the cab on, and then want to bash these back square. I'll heat them up and smack them with the sledgy, and wherever, well, whatever that is will become, I'll turn that into a second set of tray mounts, being a tray back. Alright, it's the next day. Have moved the cab around a little bit. I've also taken out some console to clear the transfer case shifter. It was sitting over, back end was actually sitting over this way, way too far. If you look down the side, you can see half a tyre on one side and nothing on the other, so I've squared it up. Got the 52mm from body mount either side over, so that's pretty good. There was a slight bit of clearance issue with the handbrake drum on the handbrake cable, the original handbrake cable that I didn't cut out. So it's just sitting a little bit higher than I had planned, but it's all good. Everything clears. I'm actually going to try and utilise that original handbrake with the original handbrake cable, so that's why I don't want to cut it out now. So yeah, I'll fabricate something up and make that work. Going to start fabricating on the front and the rear body mounts, so we'll get cracking onto that today. Eventually, when I get some time, mainly just focusing on mounting the cab. I've only got 2 days before I've got to go back to work, today and tomorrow, but I will be extending these down as far as I can and all the way around and plating that in. Same on this side, plate all that in, plate up those holes either side where I cut the frame rail out, and box it all in, make it a bit stronger. Don't have to, but I also want to keep the splash out of the engine bay. So yeah. Also found that the carby is a little bit crusty. Looks like a little bit of water got in there. All the plugs, it spins, it's alright. Had a little bit of water in cylinder 6. But put the WD-40 down there, they spin perfectly fine. Found that late last night, that's why I stopped filming. Tackled that instead of everything else. Would rather know that it's going to work than not. So yeah, I'll get cracking on these. I'm going to do the front two and the back two first. Alright, so after about half a day, I have extended standoffs down and mounted. I'm going to chuck the radiator in place and see if we can get a crossbar, and then I can weld that in place, paint it all up, and then that's the front end done. Then we can move to the back. So yeah, I will come back once I've got an idea of what's going on. So I put the radiator in position. Looks pretty good. Yep. So just cheap eBay jobby. VL and the VN must have different locating points, so that's sitting way too low to take the rubber mount. So we'll just strap it to these. Luckily they've got them, so we'll just strap it on the top here, no biggie. Down here, got 2 bent ones already, so we'll just put a bit of 25 by 50 through here, and we'll get some sort of rubber to take up the slack, and yeah, so should be easy enough and straightforward. So I'll get some measurements and we'll go from there. Also, tilted forward like that isn't a bad idea. If you didn't see before, plenty of clearance to the old clutch fan. Obviously that will go. We'll keep the electric one. Yeah. And yeah. Happy days. Alright, so I've been hard at it and have made some rear cab brackets. Still got a bit of welding to do on one of them. The other one looks okay. Yeah, 2 big days of getting this fitted. Also got to tidy up all the back of the cab, which from cutting it in half. I nicked a couple of things that I wish I didn't, so gonna have to weld it eventually. Yeah, and finish welding this one out tomorrow, and finish the radiator. Haven't got there yet. Cut a bar tomorrow. But now that it is not on a hoist, it's becoming more real. And yeah, now I'm going to push this thing forward as far as I can so I can bring the VY in, because it's sat out overnight. I don't like leaving that thing out overnight. And we'll kick it back off in the morning. So I got the radiator mounted properly. Just need a couple of little rubber grommet mounts from the old K-frame, well, old mounts. And this is how she looks. Also got the steering half sorted. I've got the shaft in there, and cut the size and doover. I've got to weld it together and sort it out and put a bolt in it, but yeah, not too far from steering as well. Yeah, radiator hoses I'll work out next episode, and found a set of cab mounts for a wagon for $86 delivered. Yeah, so we'll chuck them in, sort this out, bolt it all up, make the other mounts, put the 4-inch in, and possibly start the trade in the next 2 episodes. That is mounting the cab on the Patrol chassis. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Be good or be good at it. Thanks for watching.